Stromile Swift joining us here each Wednesday on AFR. Talk a little LSU hoops. Stro, great to have you back, man. How are you today?
Oh man, I'm just trying to get myself back together. How you been?
Doing good, man. I guess you're alluding to the Kobe news, and you obviously came into the league at a time when Kobe and Shaq had paired in LA and were starting their run of dominance. Can you just give us some perspective as a guy who shared the court with Kobe on his life and legacy?
Yeah, man, I've been getting like phone calls and text messages all the last few days. I just remember like being a kid, like the first time hearing about Kobe, I was in the 10th grade. I got selected to come to Adidas ABCD camp, and I get there and there's like advertising of Kobe because Kobe had came there the year before, and he was just like all over the place. Every gym that we went to was just all Kobe Bryant. So I wanted to know more about this guy, and so I followed him through high school. Like I was a huge fan. And once I got to college, once I got to LSU, like Shaquille used to come down and work out with us in the summertime and play pickup ball with us. So I was always a curious guy. Like I always used to ask Shaq all types of questions. It was just like how was it being in the NBA? Like what did it take to make it to the NBA? Like just trying to get some tips on what I needed to do to get there. And like one of the questions I always asked him was like, man, how is Kobe? Like Kobe, like one of my favorite players. Like how is he? And Shaq would tell us all these different stories and just plane rides, practices, just tell us all just kind of different stories. So man, when I finally got a chance to meet Kobe, this was one of my Kobe stories. When I finally got a chance to meet him, it was weird. So I had heard all these stories like Kobe, like if you're not on his team, like he's not a friendly guy. So I heard all these stories. So I get there as a rookie, my first time playing in the Staples Center. I'm a rookie. I have to be at the game an hour and a half early to get my shots up, pregame shots, and my back is towards the Lakers locker room where they come through the tunnel. So I'm shooting my jump shots from the wing, from the corner, just shooting jump shots. And somebody walked past me and hits me on the back and was like, "What's up, Stro?" And I turned around and it was Kobe Bryant. I was like, man, I spoke back and I was like, man, Kobe know who I am. I'm thinking because I'm the number 2 pick coming into the league, like I had a little buzz around my name, so I was thinking like, man, Kobe Bryant know who I am. Like I couldn't wait to after the game to call my friends and my family and let them know, like, man, Kobe spoke to me. So I was all excited about that. But years later, man, I learned like what set Kobe Bryant apart from so many other players that it wasn't everybody knew of his work ethic, like how hard he worked, how much he wanted to be great and like the best player in the league. But nobody really knew like his study habits. And like years like down the line, like it was all I was like, man, this dude like he read my mind. But before games, like the day before the game or whenever the teams would give you a scouting sheet, a scouting report, and you would study the guys that you had to play against. So for me, I had to study the power forwards and centers, and I learned what they like to do. And on these scout reports, they would tell you if he catches the ball on the right box, he's going over the left shoulder 70% of the time, or if he catches the ball at the top of the key, he's going to drive to his left 80% of the time. If he drives left, he's going to pull up for a jump shot. If he drives right, he's going all the way to the goal. So, like in the scout reports, they have all the analytics. They tell you all about the players. So it's your job to study those players and learn what they like to do. So with Kobe, like every time I would get the ball, like he's yelling to his players, like he's coming over the left shoulder for a Joe Hook, and I was just like, man, how he read my mind. But until then, I didn't understand that Kobe was so like laser focused and locked in that he didn't only study the guards that he had to guard. He studied the big man, the centers, power forwards, small forwards. He studied everybody, so he knew everybody's tendencies, and that's what made him so great on defense. And people just thought that he was just a God-given talent, but man, he put in the work. He studied, and it was unbelievable, man, just to share the court with him. But that's just one of my Kobe stories.
Do you have any other from playing against him?
Oh yeah.
Or any other times that you spoke with him aside from the first time whenever he slapped you on the back?
Okay. Okay. So I don't remember the year. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember we were playing the Lakers, and I was in Memphis. Hubie Brown was coaching us in Memphis, and I believe on the court was myself, Pau Gasol, Jason Williams, James Posey, and Mike Miller. And this was the championship Lakers. Like, we were beating them in Memphis, and James Posey, like, Kobe was guarding the sideline out of bounds play, and we were up by 15 with like 2 minutes. We were going ahead to win the game. So Kobe was still in his Mamba mode, just like trying to get steals, trying to get them back in the game. 15 points in 2 minutes, that's not a lot of time. That's a lot of time if you get hot. So Kobe was still like just trying to deny the ball from getting in bounds. And he turned his back towards James Posey. And James Posey threw the ball off his butt, stepped in bounds, and shot a deep three in Kobe's face. And the crowd went crazy. So as we're running back down the court, like Kobe runs up to James Posey and says to his face, he was like, "This how we do Pose?" And everybody was laughing. And Kobe was like, "You got to see me again." So this was like the first time that we had played the Lakers that year. So I know everybody remembers the 81 that he scored on Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was maybe like 6 or 7 games where he went on this crazy streak where he was scoring 81, 70, 60, 50. Like, it was crazy. The Memphis Grizzlies was a part of that. So Kobe, when he came back to Memphis, he didn't play the full quarter. He had about 55 points. And I promise you, it seemed like he never missed a shot. Like, he was coming in. I know he got an and one on me. He came in like he was trying to dunk, and I went up, and he turned his back towards me and threw up a shot behind his head, and it went in all net. And I was like, he wasn't missing anything that night. And I was like, man, like, everybody was mad at Pose because we like, man, you pissed him off, and he came back with a vengeance.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Kobe's game log from '06. So he had the 81 against the Raptors on January the 22nd. I'm looking. The next time he played Memphis would have been February the 11th. It was did you guys win that game?
No, they beat us. He didn't even play the full quarter
because he had 26 and the Lakers lost that game. It had to be a different one. I'll keep scrolling for it to see if I can find the next one when he had a big game against Memphis. I'm looking at the game log right now. Maybe it was before the 81. Let's see.
It was either before.
Oh, there it is. There he had 45. It was December the 28th. He had 45. That had to be it.
And 45, and he didn't play the full quarter.
Yeah, that would probably be the one. He played. Well, no, he played. Let's see, that can't be it because he played 47 minutes in that game. Anyway, point is, Kobe did some work against Memphis that year, obviously, man. I know we're supposed to talk LSU, man. I'd rather just talk Kobe. This is phenomenal. You got any more?
Yeah. Man, I have some more, but they're kind of vague. Like, it's been so long ago. Like I said, like, I have. Man, for me, it was just an honor. Like I always wanted. Like, we played in the Staples Center. Like, I always wanted to, like, just go out and just play my best games. And I think I had some of my best games against the Lakers. But it was just always, like, just cool just to share the court, be on the same floor, and, like, just to really just match your game up and just see where you actually were. And for most people, they wasn't even close. So it was just amazing just to be on the floor with him, and just for a guy to come out of high school, be so intelligent on the floor and off the floor. Like, it was awesome just to play against him. He got really close with one of my good friends, Pau Gasol. Memphis traded Pau Gasol to the Lakers.
Sure.
And I had got traded to the New Jersey Nets. And on that Lakers team, they had a lot of foreigners that was on that team. And it was just amazing just to see Kobe communicating with them in their native tongue. Like, he's on the court, and he's talking to Powell. He's speaking Spanish to Powell. He's speaking whatever to Slava Medvedenko, and it's just like, man, like he's speaking all these different languages to all these different players, and it was just cool to watch that.